Hello, boys and girls. Mr. Paust here. So nice to see you. I have my green eggs and ham shirt. I absolutely love this shirt. I got it from Target a couple years ago. It's really soft fabric. I love it. But also, it's a Dr. Seuss book, which is amazing. And if you've read the story Green Eggs and Ham, you learn about Sam. And Sam changes throughout the story. Now, I have a wonderful story for you today, and it's called Hooray for Wodeny Wat by Helen Lester. And Wodeny also changes throughout the story. Oh, the story is so good. This story is in my top 10 favorite stories all time. Now, if you look on his bed, the book says squeak up. There's a picture of cheese on his wall. Poor Wodeny. Wodeny Wat. His real name was Rodney Rat, but he couldn't pronounce his R's. To make matters worse, he was a rodent. A Wodeny. "What's your name, Wodeny?" asked the other rodents. "Wodeny what?" whispered Wodeny. "What's another name for a bunny?" they asked knowingly. "Rabbit," he mumbled. "And how does a train travel?" They winked at each other. "A twain travels on twain twacks," Wodeny replied miserably. Oh, that's a tough day at school. All this teasing day in and day out made Wodeny the shyest rodent in his elementary school. His squeak could barely be heard in class. He gnawed lunch alone. And while the other rodents scurried and scooted about at recess, Wodeny hid inside his jacket. Then one day, as the rodents were taking turns doing wheelies, a new rodent, a very large rodent, barged into the classroom and announced, "My name is Camilla Capybara." "I'm bigger than any of you. I'm meaner than any of you. And I'm smarter than any of you." Then she added, "So there." El Capybara. Careful. With that, she accidentally, on purpose, elbowed an ear, bumped two noses, stepped on three tails, and laid down on a desk. Fur prickled in fear throughout the classroom. She sure was bigger than any of them. She sure looked meaner than any of them. Was she smarter than any of them? "What's 2 plus 2?" asked Miss Fuzzleworth. "4," shouted Camille Capybara, without even bothering to raise her paw. "And furthermore, 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. And 243 plus 125 is 368. Later, when Miss Fuzzleworth asked, "What is the capital of?" Camille interrupted. "New York, Albany. Population 295,594. And during science, in answer to the question, "What part of the plant is below the ground?" Camilla Capybara danced on her desk and sang, "Root, root, rooty toot toot." Yup, thought all the other rodents. She's smarter than we are, too. They felt very, very uncomfortable. Every afternoon, just before the final recess, Miss Fuzzleworth drew a name from her hat to see who would be the leader for their favorite game, Simon says. She scrunched her eyes closed and jiggled the hat. Would it be Harry Hamster? Minnie Feet Mouse? Grizzly Fizz Guinea Pig? Could it be Big, Mean, Smart Camilla Capybara? Miss Fuzzleworth's paw reached in and pulled out the name of Wodeny Wat. The bell rang. There was a wild scurry for the door, and Camilla Caballero was the first on the playground, having trampled the others in her path. To Wodeny, she looked especially scary. What would she do? When she heard him speak, breathe capybara breath in his face? Or tie him up in his own tail? Or even pounce on him? I love reading these signs. PS 142, Elementary School for Rodents. The tiny, trembling leader of the game stood before the eager players, his head well inside his jacket, and squeaked, Wodeny says, we the shine. While the other rodents read PS 142, Elementary School for Rodents, Camilla began pulling up weeds around the sign, and wildly flinging them hither and yon, till she was clear up to her teeth in dirt. The other rodents began to smile. Wodeny says, wrap your paws around your head. He peeked a little peek out of his jacket and saw, whap, whap, whappity slap whap. Camilla was whapping her paws around her head so hard she became dizzy, gave herself a headache, and had to sit down. The other rodents couldn't help giggling. Wodeny says, play wing around the wosy. Camilla put out her arms like wings and made airplane noises. But where was the wosy? What was a wosy? By now, Wodney's voice was stronger and his head was entirely out of his jacket. Wake the waves! Nobody moved. Wodeny says, wake the leaves! While Harry, Minifeet, and Grizzly Frizz and the others bruised themselves raking, Camilla Caballero grabbed one leaf. Wake up! She yelled. She snatched another. Come on, you! Up, up, up! And another. Rise and shine! And another. Boo! By now, all the rodents were squealing with laughter, all but Camilla, who frowned. Stupid leaves, they won't wake up. And why was everyone laughing at her? Such bullies. In a voice so strong he had to hold his own ears, Wodeny called, Wodeny says go west! The rodents clapped in a happy heap for a rest. Go west! Camilla Caballero, feeling very smart, that she could tell directions by the sun, said, All right, I shall go west. And then she added, So there. West she stomped. Forever she was gone. And from that day on, the pupils at PS 142 Elementary School for Rodents never teased Wodeny again. He was their hero. Hooray for Wodeny Wat! They cried. Woot, woot, woody toot toot. And that day, Wodeny Wat became a hero. All right, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this story. I really love it. All right, see you soon.